While Operation Jade Helm goes on in the great state of Texas, right-wingers are convinced that there is something more to this than the government is telling them. Here are 5 different conspiracy theories that are being spread around some of the fringe right-wing websites. So, number 1 is that the operation is just a cover for the implementation of martial law. Now, Alex Jones is on his website. InfoWars has apparently drawn a lot of attention to this, which he claims is a PSYOP program that will condition Americans to the sight of troops in the streets. Now, I would sort of direct Alex Jones over to Baltimore and over to our police state, in which there are heavily armed police with Bearcats and MRAPs on our streets. In fact, there was a city here, and I can't remember the name of it, here in Michigan, that just received an armored vehicle. A small town received an armored vehicle. What for? Look, if anything's a PSYOP, that would be it. But it doesn't have anything to do with Texas or Operation Jade Helm. It seems ridiculous. In addition, there's also another blog, a fringe blog called Freedom Fighters Reports, that linked the training exercise to what it said was a leaked Justice Department memo calling for all-out gun confiscation and outlawing of firearms. The post linked to a 2013 document from the National Institute of Justice detailing various gun control initiatives, including buybacks and background checks. So, this is also, they're coming to take your guns. They're coming to take your guns, and also, they're going to do martial law. I skipped ahead, apologize for that, but going back to martial law, right, the document outlining the goals and implementation of the operation first surfaced on March 19th on Alex Jones' InfoWars, and he says this is just a cover for deploying the military in the streets. I've hardly ever heard of something joint like this unless they're planning an invasion. Fascinating. Now going back to they're coming to take your guns, that's the second one. Now, All News Pipeline, which I've never heard of, cites a report of a United Nations medical vehicles traveling through southwestern states in recent days as proof that they're going to come to take your guns. Well, who's going to take your guns? Obviously, the United Nations pairing with the Department of Justice. They're coming to take your guns. And once again, we go back to what Freedom Fighters reports talking about this exercise and this Justice Department memo, which was supposedly leaked, but it didn't say exactly what these people from Freedom Fighters are saying that it says. If you can follow that. Not only that, another crazy conspiracy floated by the right wing is that the military plans to imprison political dissidents. An anonymous Texas Ranger, I wonder if his name is Walker, wrote a letter to Dave Hodges, host of the ill-named Common Sense show, that claimed that there were trains moving through Texas that would have shackles inside of some of the cars ahead of the training exercise, and that he speculated that these trains would be used to transport political prisoners. And also, they talked about something called the Red List, which would have the military, I guess, plan to get rid of people on this Red List. Not only that, but some of the other fringe blogs tracking this whole thing have speculated about the existence of this Red List. What is the Red List? It's a list of key resistance fighters who will be kidnapped and quote-unquote dealt with in advance of the implementation of martial law. It would include things like snatch and grabs, which of suspicious people, really crazy stuff. Not only that, but they started speculating on what Jade Helm actually stands for in the acronym. Well, apparently they say that Helm stands for Homeland Eradication of Local Militants, and Jade stands for Joint Assistance for Deployment and Execution. Fascinating. And as proof, they tried to tie it back to some sort of proof that linked to a military document that does not contain those acronyms. So much for that. Another conspiracy theory, number 4, related to Jade Helm, is that the military has occupied some shuttered Walmart buildings for training. Wait a minute here. Now, Walmart has gotten some press because they closed 5 different outlets in Texas. Now, a lot of that is because, well, Walmart wanted to fight unionization efforts in these Walmarts from the workers. Now, they officially said, oh, it's a sewage thing. Yes, it's a sewage problem. Well, there wasn't anything wrong with the sewer system. It was just that these 5 stores were having a lot of unionization efforts, and Walmart is very hard on unions. Now, of course, these conspiracy websites picked up on the closure and tried to connect this into Jade Helm. And they speculated that these stores would be used as, quote, food distribution centers and to house the headquarters of, get this, invading troops from China here to take your guns. Before its news reports that that the military is operating bases underground inside a network of covert tunnels that somehow run underneath these Walmart stores. And finally, the other thing is that the operation will coincide with a false flag economic collapse, which is absolutely nuts. Once again, it's before it's news. They claim that people are being compelled to hack into banks to cause a financial collapse. That economic collapse will serve as a false flag and allow the military to implement martial law through Jade Helm 15. I don't know where they get this stuff. I don't know what they're smoking, but maybe they should share some of it because it sounds like it's pretty good shit.